welcome to another edition of the Volleyball Coaches Show. I'm Jordan Bazron with MuirAthletics.com. Joined alongside head volleyball coach Steven Gream. Now, Coach, we'll go back a little bit. We'll go to Arkansas Tech, a big conference match on the road. You guys unfortunately got swept. Arkansas Tech, they show why they are the number one team in the conference. They swung a pretty high percentage, limited you guys to a small hitting percentage. What happened in that match?
Well, the first thing is Arkansas Tech does what Arkansas Tech does, which is put pressure on you with their serve. If you can't pass, you can't run offense, and that's what we had trouble doing. And that's why we had such a lowest hitting percentage. Plus, you had that they did their second best thing they do, which is block. You had those two things together. We had a hard time. Now Mungie had a good game out there, but Mungie is so explosive; she hits over the block a lot of times. Our other hitters really had a hard time. We had a hard time sitting in the middle, which really hurt us there. Because again, going back to our passing, and I'm not saying our passing was horrible. It just wasn't good enough to where we could run offense.
Now, a big key for you in that match wanted to be you wanted your team to serve aggressive, and you guys only had 2 aces. Was that a testament to their defense, or were the serves just not aggressive enough on you?
I think it was a combination of both. I thought we could have served a lot more aggressive than we did. But at the same time, their passers stepped up and did good. I mean, we were serving at the people we wanted to serve at. We just didn't get anything good out of it a lot of times, and sometimes they were able to run what they wanted to run out of it. So we need to make sure we continue to work on serving more aggressive each time, especially as we press on toward the end of the season. Now,
moving into the weekend, you guys went to Springfield, Missouri. You didn't come home. You went straight from Tech to Springfield, Missouri to play in a tri-match. And you started with Quincy, a team that defeated Drury earlier that day, surprisingly. I mean, it was somewhat of an upset at Drury. And you guys fell in the first set, and then you swept the next 3. So I guess my first question is, what changed from the first set to the next 3?
Well, we tend, when we have bad games, we tend to have what I call a hangover into the set. And I think the first set, we didn't play as bad as we did against Tech, but we still had those same mistakes we were making at Tech. Then we regrouped, figured out what they were doing, kind of looked at the scouting report again, made sure everybody was on the same page again. These are where they're wanting to hit and things like that. And that's when the blocking started kicking in. When we're blocking, energy kicks up with us, and we know 10 blocks, I believe, in that match. And then all of a sudden the offense starts kicking in. We passed a lot better that game, which meant we could run our offense there. So we really did a good job of picking them apart there, because they were averaging 2.3 blocks per set, even more than what we're doing, and we're a good blocking team. So we knew we had to mix the ball up a little bit. We couldn't just set outside all the time. Everybody contributed there, and that's why we were able to find those holes and beat them. They did the same thing against Drury, which allowed them to also pick up the win as well.
Now, you had a lot of, speaking of blocks, Ali O'Banion had a career-high 8 blocks, but you had a lot of good performances, individual performances. Manji had 16 kills. She had 9 kills alone in the 3rd set. She basically took over the set. And Taylor Ayum had her 7th double-double. Rice had 30 digs. Who stood out to you in that match?
All of them. I mean, really, I think everybody did their job, and that's why they all stand out with us. I mean, obviously those stats are big on those sides. I mean, I didn't even Hannah with 30 digs. I mean, it was a quiet 30 digs, but she just did her job. Taylor did her job. Manji did her job. But we also had Haley McNee come in. We had Shelby come in. We had Logan and Allie contribute there on the offense as well, which allowed us to mix that up a little bit. So basically, we got that win because everybody did their job and contributed there, and we were also able to serve a little more aggressive, which allowed us to actually help us our block out because we knew where the ball was going.
Now, moving into the next match, you guys had a doubleheader. So right after that, you guys had a short rest, and then you had to take on Drury, who was probably upset on their first loss. And then they came out and they hit over 300 and limited you guys to under 100. So can you tell me a little bit about what happened in that match?
Well, Drury's a good team. They beat Harding 3-0 earlier in the season. They're a good program. Now they lost to Quincy, and I'm sure they were highly upset coming out of that. It was also a conference match. That really stung for them. The key thing was that they executed their game and we didn't. We went back to the way we were at Tech. We didn't really pass very well. Blocking, they hit around our block very well. I give them credit for that. Where they were just getting balls, where they were hitting around and we didn't have a defender there. So it was a lot of different things that happened there. We had some little nagging things going on at the time, and you put all that together and that's the result. I mean, but don't take anything away from Drury at all. They're a very good program.
Now let's recap the week a little bit. Last 4 games, Ali O'Banion really seemed to regain her form on the blocking end. She had 18 blocks, 1.38 blocks per set. What makes Ali O'Banion so good in that middle position?
She's very coachable. She listens. I mean, we tell her this is what the hitter's wanting to do, and she sticks in that spot. And she you don't have to tell her twice to do things. I mean, she sticks in that spot. She does what she's told, and she makes the adjustments along the way. You know, if a player is going to make an adjustment, then she makes adjustment with them. The main thing we need to do with her is now we got her blocking going back. We need to get her offense going back a little bit, and that'll come as soon as we start getting those passes to where we can set that middle more. Because it's the same thing with Logan in the middle as well. Now,
speaking of the middle, last game versus OBU, a team you play tomorrow, their middle had a good game against you guys. She had 15 kills. Against Arkansas Tech, their middle had a good game. She led with 14 kills. What is it going to take for you guys to adjust to start blocking the middles, I guess, better?
Well, I mean, both those middles that you mentioned, they don't just do one thing. They do multiple things, which means there's going to be a lot of holes there. The key thing for us is it's not just our middles that have to step up. It's the whole front row's got to step up. We have to know when they're going to run a slide, know when they're going to run a three, know when they're going to run a back one or a front one. They need to be able to communicate more and be able to help each other out. It's not just the middles that's got to do it, it's the whole front row's got to do it. Now, you've got some help with our middles who are putting up good, nice blocking numbers, but the wings have to do that as well. And again, we have to serve aggressive enough to where they can't sit them like people are doing against us. They know our middles have done well all year long, and they're serving aggressive enough, which is forcing us to sit outside so much. We need to do the same thing to them.
Now, OBU is known as a defensive team, so what will it take for you guys to go in OBU and get a W tomorrow?
Do what we did against Quincy and these other teams. We have to serve aggressive. We have to move the ball around, and the key to that is we got to pass. Their servers are not bad servers, but they're not Arkansas Tech servers, so we should be able to pass them. We got to make those passes, and we got to be able to run our offense and spread out. It can't be just all outside, or it can't be all middle. It's got to be mixed up to where we find those holes, much like we did against Northwest Oklahoma, much like we did against Arkansas Marcelo, where they have a good opponent hitting percentage, and we picked them apart because we were able to do that.
All right, guys, you heard it here first from head volleyball coach Steven Gream. The volleyball team travels to OBU tomorrow. First serve is at 6:30 p.m. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks again, Coach.
Thank you.